Got to tighten the belt adjuster. See how it doesn't creep anymore? Just sits where I put it. That's perfect. I do need to tighten up the belt a little bit more, but I'll do that when I put it back together after painting it. But that totally is 100% rideable. And I'm going to weld, I got some metal rod, I'm going to weld some stuff on that so I can extend that up a few inches. But all in all, looks nice. Going uphill. Just crested the hill, starting downhill. Whoops, and starting back uphill. Yeah, I need to give the motor a little bit more acceleration. It's just off idle right now. And I need to tighten the belt. little fast. Maybe a bigger pulley on the rear tire. Holes in the yard here, so I hope I don't go in too far. Oops, I'm spinning in the mud. I don't want to tear up the yard. I just started spinning the tire. Yeah, it wasn't even giving it that much gas. I tightened up the belt too much and it wants to pull now, so I got to loosen it back up a smidge. I just barely squeeze that and see it wants to go. So let me loosen that up. Get my wrench here. Now it's not wanting to creep. Just a little bit more. There, now it's pretty much all sitting still. Push it real easy backwards. You need to put air in the tires, they're pretty low. There we go. Yeah, no creeping. I got to take care of the seat and the handlebars so they're not all wiggly. I'm going to weld that steel rod so it goes down in there and I can tighten that up securely, just making it more comfortable to ride. But all in all, it runs and rides pretty good. Yeah, it's the first time the engine's really warmed up. Yeah, the seat, I need to grind a flat in it and weld it up so it's a little more secure. It's kind of flimsy, you know, it's meant for kids, so I'm gonna weld that up before paint. These are the few things I gotta address. So the seat isn't wobbly, and then the handles, yeah, can't have that. And then I can turn it, see, without the wheel turning because it's just all loose in there. So I picked this up and I'm going to weld that to the bottom of that. And I'm going to grind a flat in this and weld up the, pound it out so it's not bent, and weld it up so it's secure. And then we'll, yeah, it's not the steel rod that's loose in there, it's a seat loose on the rod. So that all needs to be welded up. And I warmed the engine up, ran the engine quite a bit. I did run it out of gas, a float bowl out of gas. I don't know if that shows up in here or not. The aluminum felt warmer, I guess it's not. I just sat here and pounded it all out back into shape. You can see there was 4 spot welds is all held this. You can even see them here. One there, 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 and there. And I'm going to weld it all the way around there, and I'm going to weld it around here. And then I'm going to take some of my heavier metal and put straps out and weld it all. So that, you know, this is meant for a 5-year-old, not a somebody in their mid-60s that's over 200 pounds. You know, that's meant for like 30 pounds, not, you know, I'm 200 pounds more than what that seat's meant for. But I want to use it. I want to retain the tricycle seat. So we're just going to reinforce it and make it adult friendly. First thing, we're going to bead blast it so the weld will stick to it. So I'll get this, and you can see that's going to clean up really quick and easy. Get all the paint off of it, and then I can weld to whatever I want. I'm going to take all the paint off both sides. So it's, and did I tell you I stopped and ordered the paint from the paint store? It's a Pantone color, I think 600C. It really goes with the green. I hope they get a good match, you know, with the Pantone. But anyway, let me get this cleaned up and get her welded up. That'll make it easier to weld. There's a couple of dents in it that I hammered out right there too. And I'm gonna probably have to put some spot welds on, or, you know, on where the original spot welds were, as that's a little cracked there. But we'll get this thing a little more rigid and to where it can support a 200 and some pound man. To at least, hopefully it'll support at least a couple 100 pounds. Anyway, let me get the welder going. We'll start welding that up. I'm not going to video welding. That'll help, and then I'll weld, like I say, some other steel in there to kind of hot. But I welded those holes in too, so I can grind them out. Because I might have to put a little body filler on it. There's some pits here, and you know, I might still have a dent or two in it. But anyway, well, I want as little body filler as possible on it. Anyway, let me cut some metal to weld some things out and about to strengthen it up. Cutting the metal to reinforce the seat. That's what I'm going to do. And the key to getting a good weld is just making sure everything's clean. This band iron has like a coating on it. So if you want a good clean weld, bead blast it or sand it or do something. But anyway, I'm going to weld it across here and around here and here. And hopefully that'll be enough to secure it. I might weld a piece up here too, but I think most of the bracing needed to be there. Yeah, the seat seems to be nice and rigid there. I've really moved and twisted and hit on it, and it doesn't budge. So the seat's going to be good. That, just like that, that's going to reinforce the seat. It's not going anywhere. I ground a flat on that so it stays right where I put it. And then this was just barely in there. It was just right where that nut, that bolt would just catch it. And I want to raise it up to maybe about there. So I'm going to weld. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Take this, and that'll fit down in there, and we'll weld right to that, and that's going to extend it. I'm not going to extend it very far, maybe 2 inches, 3. I'll see how far I can go down here. I'll bottom it out, and then I'll mark it right here at the top, bottom it there and mark it at the top, and that's where I'm going to cut it off, and then weld it to this. Alright, I have that welded on. I'll grind and finish the welds when I take it all apart, but that is not quite bottomed. I could grind the weld and put it down just so it's, I made it so that when the dowel rod, steel rod is all the way down, this will still bite into it. It won't bite into this. And I got to clean all that up. Yeah, but the seat is nice and rigid now. Handlebars are rigid and they're up about 1 inch. I actually really like the feel of where they are now. They still hit my legs, but you know, this thing's just to have putz around on and have some fun with it. It's not, I'm not riding it to the grocery store and the, you know, all over and everything. It's just going to be to play with and mostly look at. But that feels good. The handlebar is nice and sturdy in there now. I don't have, you know, won't have to worry. What was happening was this was collapsing, and then it would get loose in there and start turning to where I was having to steer it with my feet instead of the handlebars. And I guess that's all good. If the handlebars come loose or something breaks, I'm not stuck not being able to steer it. So all right, we got this and this, and I want to build some weld up on these right here on both sides, just to give that a little more strength. And then I think it's going to be pretty much all ready to take apart and do the paint work on. This will be about it on this video on getting this thing ready. I think we got it pretty much all ready to take apart. In this video I'm going to cut these off so that they're not so much thread sticking out. I'll just take my Dremel with a little cut off, and I'm going to put these stainless bolts in. I picked up some 1/4 stainless that are going to be mount the fender, and I don't think I'm going to weld anything in it. I think once these are on bolted in, I think that'll keep it, and if it vibrates a little bit, well, so be it. But I think that'll help it, because if I really hold it up here and here while it's vibrating, I can stop it. So I think that'll help that. I built some weld up here so I can grind it to make it flow a little better without a bunch of body filler in there. And I may have to add a little weld after I do some grinding. And the same with all the other grinds here, I'm going to have to add some, as you can see, you know, so this kind of flows out without a dip there. So, you know, I kind of want a more even flow. You'll see when I get it done. And the paint is ordered. It should be ready next week. So hopefully next week I can get all the welds ground out, and we get some good weather. I can take it outside and paint it after it's all ground out and all the body work's done. So there'll be videos. I'll do a video, or I'm not going to do a bunch of video on grinding welds, but I'll take a little video as I go with it. And obviously I'll take video of when we get some paint on it, and then we'll reassemble it and go cruising on it. How's that sound? I'm going to wrap up this video right here on the Trikeabout, just so you can see what's going on with it. And like I said, I'll make more videos as I, you know, get into grinding the welds, get it apart and get the welds finished out and get some body work done. I'll make video as I do it. So you'll see a couple more videos on it before it's finished and painted and whatnot, and then we'll get it all painted up and done. So anyway, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you like my channel, at 348 engine icon will help get you subscribed up there. And thank you for watching my video.